Thank you for coming by. We're going to
Yeah.
answer a couple of questions. We're going to be talking about the new high school, basically, and the transition there. So I breaking it down to three parts. We're going to talk about the final months here, the big move, what's going to be kind of expected, and then the third part will be at the new building. So let's get started. So when you think of Tahoma being here for 40 years, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, I mean, I'm more of a younger kid here at the high school, so it's kind of like, wow, I've missed so much of our history, but I get to start creating the future and what we're becoming, and I think it's really cool that we've been around for this long and that I can keep the legend of Tahoma going.
Let's go back in time for a moment. It's your first day being here at Tahoma. What were you feeling at the time? What was going on through your mind?
um, in Tahoma, the high school,
Yeah, when you were walking in here for the first time.
probably that I was finally out of the junior high and I finally got to be a new adult. I'm growing up, and then I got to my first class. And it was math. And then I felt instantly at home because I felt older and I felt like, wow, Tahoma is a place where I could really be myself. And it was nice.
So after 40 years of making history in this building, how do you think the new student body that will be coming to the new building will have that responsibility of carrying on that legacy and even some new ones?
I think it will definitely be important that we continue to act the way that we always have and be kind to each other in the hallways and respecting our teachers. And I think that we definitely can change some things and become closer as a student body, and I think that that's definitely a cool thing about Tahoma.
What kind of memories do you think will be made here in the final months at this historical building?
I think it'll definitely be really emotional just because this has always been the high school for as long as I can remember. And I think that definitely changing to the new high school will make it more difficult to end the year. And I think the seniors will probably have a more difficult time, but I think it'll be fun to transition into the new high school next year.
What are your hopes for what will be expected from students and teachers as we get ready to close this building?
I definitely expect the students to probably respect the teachers a little bit more than they usually do, and I definitely expect them to help out around the school. And I know that the teachers are sometimes stressed about it, and I definitely think that it would be nice for the students to help out with the teachers.
And then last question for part one is, what are you anticipating for the final months here at this building before turning off the lights?
I think it'll definitely be emotional, as I said before, but I also expect it to be making like good memories of our last moments of this being the high school, and I think it'll be just a rather happy but emotional time.
Part two, the big move. So what will the last day of school look like for you?
Probably signing yearbooks, saying goodbye to the school, and getting excited for the next one. It'll definitely be a change, that's for sure.
How will this summer for you be different compared to previous ones?
I think it'll definitely be different now that I'm in the high school because I have friends that can drive me around places, and I'm sure I'll pass by the high school multiple times, and it'll probably be just a little different just because I'm a little bit older than I used to be.
How do you think the students will prepare themselves over the summer for going to the new building, and how will you yourself?
It'll probably be the same as it always was when going to a new school. Like, this year has been a new transition for me since I'm a sophomore, so I think it'll be a lot like last year, probably being super nervous, oh god, where do I find my classes? But I definitely think that it'll definitely work out.
How do you think the emotions and the feelings you had when you were walking down these halls for the first time will reflect of how you will be feeling when you walk in the halls for the first time at the new building?
I think that really this school I've always seen it as the high school, and I think that I probably won't be as attached to the new high school, but I definitely think that it will be a lot nicer and newer looking, so I'll probably like it just as much as I like here.
What are you anticipating for the the big move to the new building, whether or not you are involved in it or not?
I know that it'll take time and it'll probably be really stressful. I know one of my teachers is always pretty stressed, and part of the new high school is a reason for her stress. So it's always like, wow, if I'm a part of this, it'll probably be pretty quick, but definitely worth it.
Part 3, so at the new building. So how do you think the student body will prepare themselves for the first day compared to how the teachers will?
I think the students will probably just prepare themselves for a new school, and just like they prepared themselves when they came to this school, just new school. But I think the teachers will definitely have a little more of a difficult time because every single teacher is changing. It's new for them, and they're probably used to being in the same school, same class every year, and I think it'll be more difficult for the teachers than the students.
What kind of steps do you think the juniors and seniors will have to face when it comes to getting used to getting around the new building's architecture?
I think that'll probably be more easy for the sophomores just because they only had a little bit of time here rather than having 2 years like the new seniors. But I think that they'll definitely be able to get used to it pretty quick.
What kind of environment do you think the building will be with the 2 added classes, meaning the freshmen and sophomores?
I think it'll definitely be different because I personally haven't been in a school with more than 2 grades in a while, and I'm sure the other kids haven't either. And so I think it'll definitely be a change just because we've been so used to having only a couple grades at a time. But I definitely think that it will be pretty nice having newer kids.
What kind of steps will you be taking to introduce the freshmen and sophomores to high school life while also at the same time getting adapted to being at the new building as well?
I'm not really sure because I don't actually know the kids in the lower grades than myself, just because I've always been in the clique of the sophomore year. But I think that I'll be preparing the same way I prepared last year. Just new school, gotta learn quick, gotta understand how it works.
How do you think you will be able to help freshmen and sophomores? Oh, that's right. I already said that one. What do you see the first couple of weeks of the new high school looking like?
Probably a lot of confusion for a lot of kids, and probably kids being late to class constantly because no one will know where to go and no one will be able to help each other. But I think after that time period of confusion, everything will get into place.
How do you think you will be able to help freshmen and sophomores personally around the building while you yourself are trying to figure your way around the building?
I think that if there are kids that are confused, I'll definitely say, hey, the number hundreds is that way, but if I don't see them, I don't think it's my problem.
As the year progresses, how do you think the staff and students will begin to get used to this transition?
I think that there'll probably be the way that it is here. Kids are more comfortable talking in the halls, not trying to get to class, being late, and I think the teachers will definitely be able to be more comfortable in their teaching when it's later in the year.
In the long run, meaning down the road, how will the student body become more adapt to the new environment as well for the teachers and staff?
I think that they'll definitely feel more comfortable as time goes on, and that the classes will probably be more comfortable too, just because we'll know where we are, we'll see the kids who are younger than us with us, and I think it'll just definitely change in levels of comfort.
And then the last question is, what are you anticipating for September 2017 to look like and the 2017-18 school year?
I think it'll definitely be difficult for a lot of students, but I'm expecting it to be better than this year and most of the years that we've had before, just because it's a new high school, new everything at this point.
And that will do it for us. So thank you for coming by.
Yeah, of course.
So, thank you.